Katy Perry's been whining and moaning about how she's a human piñata because the internet, traditional media, Wendy's, basically everyone agreed she should be stranded on an island. Or stranded in space, as it were. And I know what you're thinking. Where's Chris? Is he still in China? How are you holding up after the Pope stuff? And don't worry, I got him on the line. Not the Pope. But buddy, I got good news and bad news. Bad news is, legally speaking, you're paper. And because of reasons over here, I can't really afford to ship you home right now. Good news is, practically speaking, you are paper. You can just fax me a copy of yourself, so let me know when you do. Okay, love you, bye. Anyways, very basically, back in February, Jeff Bezos' space company announced that his fiancée would be riding one of his commercial flights with a group of culturally significant people, one of whom is even a scientist. But the second I saw Katy Perry's piercing blue origin eyes silently seeding into my subconscious the message of, "Look at me," I knew this was going to be a train wreck. Or space wreck, as it were. The backlash was swift. Not swift, though I'm sure they tried to get her, and literally anyone else before hitting up career stall Katy. But it's open season on public figures, so I don't blame you, normal people on Twitter, especially because it was brought to most everyone's attention by actor Olivia Munn saying,
like, it's so much money to go to space.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
and there's a lot of people who can't even afford eggs. I mean, I think it's a bit
Over the
gluttonous.
top.
with model Emily Ratajkowski piling on.
You're going up in a spaceship and paid for by a company that's single-handedly destroying the planet. I'm disgusted, literally. I'm disgusted.
Does CVS still print stuff? Anyways, yes, Emily, all this press about who's going up and what they'll be wearing was ridiculous.
In fact, Katy said she was going to put the ass in astronaut.
But somehow, in the aftermath, the theatrics of this lioness led to her taking the lion's share of the jokes, criticism, and conspiracy? So I just want to say, she's always been this way. Now we're just less into it. Something people don't understand about celebrities falling off is that a lot of it is relative. Yeah, sometimes things come up, or they go crazy, but sometimes they just stay the same, and we move on. Perry is still pretty much 2010 Katy Perry, and this was her attempt to catapult, or rocket, as it were, back into the current culture and conversation, but in her quirky and funny way, which doesn't really fit the vibe right now. But do you remember Super Bowl 49? Back then we liked that. And side note, I'm only defending her to be different if people were like, wow, this is so empowering. I'd be like, girl, please. It's annoying hearing Gayle King complain about people calling it a ride.
A ride implies that it's something frivolous.
No, it implies you rode.
There was nothing frivolous about what we did and the machine that we were on.
What we did.
Sorry. One second. Anyways, when I go for a drive, I'm driving, and whoever else is just along for the ride is riding. So, in a ship that's driving itself, yeah, it flew, y'all rode. And might I add, on a very expensive bus with a little Women in STEM ad on the side. So, as far as Lauren and Katy and Gayle are concerned,
Me and my other crewmates, I like saying crewmates.
This is bigger than just going to space.
1, 2, 3, take us space!
there's a lot of real criticism and conversation you can have here. But I'm over this.
They're going for 11 minutes.
So-
They're going up. I think they're going to float around a little
So
and then
you're
come
on
back.
like Magic Mountain. Like you're just going up and
Space Mountain. More appropriately, Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
That's not funny.
How many resources went into putting these women into space? For what?
This is how you get comments like, how many geriatrics living in extreme poverty, displaced foster kids? Stop, all right, we get it. No, that's not really what's... Cut it. No. In fact, why don't we give you a taste of your own medicine? This is an actor, and this is a model. First off, how much money do we let studio executives throw away? What, you didn't see Dave Bautista in The Lost Lands? Spoiler alert, they lost more than the lands. They're actually not wasting money, they're creating jobs. Yeah, so does launching a rocket. And for clothes, spend your money however you want. But if you ask me, they should never cost more than $100 unless it guarantees that no children made it without a lunch break at least. But by her very simple definition of
Look at the state of the world and think about how many resources.
this is gluttonous. It is. So, why are these pots calling the kettle black? Well, because they're annoyed. Plain and simple. Just like the rest of us, they feel that the kettle is loud.
Well, I thought I was the most hated person on the internet.
So, a normal reaction would have been,
What are you guys gonna do up in space? What are you doing up there?
but when you're famous, you can't just say TSPMO. So you need to dress it up in a fancy statement piece.
Space exploration was to further our knowledge
Yeah.
and to help mankind. I mean, what are they gonna do up there?
Saying that you care about Mother Earth and it's about Mother Earth and you're single-handedly destroying the planet.
How? I don't exactly know, but something about crime and peeing in bottles. But you know what? I'm cool with this. Just, if you're gonna pretend to be saving the world, try harder. Otherwise, your real intentions may slip out.
And
Yeah.
I just think there are the cover of Elle magazine. I mean, like, isn't that? I don't know.
She just gave the game away. Go back.
The cover of Elle magazine.
And there it is. You dug too deep and let out the dirty secret that they don't deserve the cover of Elle. Because you do? Listening back, Emily slips in the same concern.
For what was the marketing there? And then to try
What was the marketing there?
Look, Katy just wanted to go to space and also get her hair done. And they just wanted to dunk on her. But lucky for them, we're a willing audience. We were just loving tearing into KP. We were over the moon, or over the moon, as it were.
Just think about
the state of the world and think about how I'm disgusted, literally.
Who would have thunk it? Not me. Tony, I just met Tony from Montana, 32 years old. But sometimes the biscuit is worth the risk it. And I went, wow.